Hi, this is Jody from Poppywinkle, and I am going to tell you a great way to deal with this. This is my box of scraps of paper that have been left over from projects I've made, and it was getting fuller and fuller and fuller. And my idea in my head has always been if what I'm saving is getting too big for its container, I need to use it. Because otherwise, why am I saving it if I don't need to use it? So this was my job this week, to get rid of my scraps, and I did. So this is what I decided to use to get rid of my overabundance of scraps. It's this cool book I got at Goodwill for 25 cents. And I got it because, well, because it's old and it's very cool, but also it's got all this like Greek writing in it, which I kind of liked, and some cool black and white pictures. But I am not going to use all of these pages in my journal. So I decided to put my scraps onto these pages. It takes about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes per page, bang, 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 because I'm not really thinking much of it. And then I have this whole book full of backgrounds. So what do you do with these backgrounds, you ask? Well, that's a very good question. So with this one, I made a tag, and it's a very special tag because you pull up this flap here and it's got a little secret journaling spot inside. So this was one full page of the book, and this happened to be a blank page with no writing on it in the book. So this is the actual book page showing. On the other side, I did it this way. I folded it in half, and then I decorated both pages, and then I put a tab on the top, and I glued it on this side, and I glued it on the top, but I left this part open. So that way it can conceal the little secret journaling spot. And then I decorated it. So you see the background there, and then I added a stamp, a die cut, a little thing I cut out of a junk mail thing, another die cut, and some washi tape thingies. Oh, and then the last thing I did was some inking stamps. Same in the back, postage stamp, same kind of idea. And then these little postcards, they were also a page. And so I made 2 postcards out of them. So this was a cardstock postcard image. Also this was, and I printed them out, cut them out, and then on the back put my collage papers right out of the book, and then cut that out, and then added some stickers and things. Again, a little stamping at the end. And super cool. So using up those scraps, and it's so nice because if you need something for a journal, it's already half done because you collage that paper, and all you need to do is add the top elements. So here's one more thing I made out of the base collage, and then I'm going to show you how I did make that base collage. This is a vellum pocket in a journal, and I decided to make a little file folder, which I just love. And this is the whole book page collage on the top and bottom. So I collaged this one facing up and then this one facing up. And then I covered it because it did have writing on this page. I just covered it with kind of a neutral background and inked the edges, rounded the corners. That always looks so nice. Then I added stickers. Look at this. This is some actual old-fashioned tape from some old sheet music my mom got me. Yay. Love that. And when I'm collaging, like here I was thinking circle with a rectangle, and here is circle with a rectangle. I don't know, I just thought that looked good. Same here, circle, rectangle, circle, rectangle, circle, rectangle. And then kind of three main elements: the lady, the flower, the bird in a teacup. And then I stuck some little journaling papers in. And isn't that fun? Oh, and I put I just put that word there because that was the only thing I had. You could put a much more inspiring word there. So, how I did it. First step was, for this one, I put a line of music vertical and then 2 horizontal. And I tend, when I'm doing something crazy like this, like it's going to be all sorts of things going on, I tend to like straight lines and parallel lines, just because I like some quiet rhythm, like the, you know, not sorts of, I don't know, squiggly lines and diagonals, because there's a lot to come. There's a lot to come after this, so I don't really know how to do that effectively. So I tend to make my base very neutral as I can in colors and in shapes. Just quiet, blended in, not too much, you know. And what's good about it is, well, we're using up these book pages, we're using up the scraps, and we're making it stronger. So when you're making a file folder like this thing is sturdy. It's got a lot of layers. It's not cardstock, but it may as well be because it's super sturdy. So second step, after I did that, now here I got into some inking. These were not inked, but here I did 3 vertical lines of the music and then inked around these craft paper scraps, which went horizontally. Here is 4 horizontal musical scraps, and I did ink those, and then 2 vertical craft paper scraps, and then I added this element, which was some old background paper that I was using for a project. I think in my last video I used this, but I had a lot of it left over, and it is, to me, it's actually a neutral, even though, look, it has green, pink, blue, yellow, gray, black, but it's all so muted. So if you squint your eyes, and look at that, it's essentially a neutral. Nothing really stands out. It's all a neutral. in my, I would call that low volume color from my quilting days, which is what I want because I'm going to put stuff on top. I don't want this whole background to take over. I want a background. Okay, now so here I got a little fancy because I had some of this. And again with the lovely, the lovely old tape. But anyway, so horizontal music, vertical music, horizontal and vertical craft paper inked craziness. And oh, I also added some, because it did get a little crazy, I added some rice paper. You could use tissue, you could use old tea bags, anything. What else? Gift tissue, tissue paper, tissue you blow your nose with, anything to just kind of tone it down. So I did that to kind of tone it down, but I also did some of this background paper. And so still, if you squint your eyes, it's quiet, but these colors definitely stick out. So I would not use more than one of these stick out colors in this, because that's a whole lot going on. So what I love about this is I have this sweet little book that I can put on my shelf, and it is storing these wonderful little collages. They're kept safe, they're kept flat, and they're ready to use whenever I need them. And they get rid of the things that I'm saving, but in a really productive way. And when I'm in the middle of making a journal and I need a tag or a card or something, I don't want to start from the beginning. I want to just get on with it. And so these are just so easy to use, and I'm kind of loving it. So I hope this is a good tip for you, because I know we all have those buckets of scraps. And let me know if you give it a try. Thanks for watching. Bye.